Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. You know what? I don't think I updated the YouTube channel. Did I update the YouTube? Maybe I did. I don't know. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock. Haven't had my coffee yet. Good morning and happy Thursday. It is the day before Halloween. Isn't that don't they call the day before? Is it Samhain? Is that the October 30th? I don't know. It is the day before Halloween. The leaves have fallen. It's actually going to be a chilly but comfortable Halloween. It's Friday night, so there's probably going to be a lot of shenanigans on Halloween night. I've got to get more candy. I want to avoid shenanigans. Make sure those kids have candy. I don't want eggs and toilet paper in my yard. Get off my lawn. So I'm going to make a run. I'm going to make a run today. Not literally, figuratively make a run. I need to get more candy because I was thinking, I thought this out loud yesterday morning. Because my wife said, I don't know if 2 bags is going to cut it. And I'm like, oh yeah, 2 bags is plenty. I was thinking of the old neighborhood, and I talked about this yesterday. So, as I talked through this yesterday morning, I'm like, oh yeah, we did go through, we had 2 pieces left when my buddy Mark brought his kids over. And fortunately, he just brought one of his kids over, and I had 2 pieces of candy. So she got 2 pieces of candy. That was it. We were done. And on top of that, not only did we go through 2 of the large Costco bags, I also was handing out all of the Pokemon basketball football packs, which I didn't have very many left. I was completely out of Pokemon. I had a few basketball packs left and maybe a dozen or so, 10 packs of football left. Because I remember going through, like, Pokemon was the top. Most people wanted Pokemon. I don't think they have Pokemon this year. So I'm gonna go to GameStop today because GameStop was my honey hole last week for NBA basketball. So this week, Mosaic Blasters are supposed to be out. So I'm gonna stop by GameStop just to see if they have any in stock. And it's like just down the road from my house. It's easy. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to Costco, get a 3rd bag of candy. And then I'll go to Walmart to get some of the basketball, football, score a treat. I know football has, maybe I'll get 2 boxes of football, little rip party for myself. Although football has not been selling as well. I've really seen a decline on eBay Live. And I think I talked through this yesterday where, it used to be everybody, I want this, I want this, I want this. Now it's like, And probably the people, either they were speculating and now it's the players that are hurt or not doing well. And it's also, we're not quite to the half. We're damn near to the halfway point of football season already. Holy shit. College basketball tips off on Monday. I'm excited for that. So yeah, that's what my plans are. I thought about squeezing a daytime eBay Live in, but I'm not going to do that. I want to run some errands. I want to get some shipping. I did some shipping last night because I was not on eBay Live. Well, I was briefly. So we had some issues yesterday during my stream. There were a lot of glitches. A lot of glitches on the seller end, on the back end for me. Auctions were failing to start. My screens were not matching up on the back end. So a lot of like glitchiness. A couple people in the room were saying it was glitching for them. I reached out to my rep. He did confirm there were some like coding issues, I think, that was leading to the problems. Everything was fixed. I'm like, okay, cool. So last night was Collector's Corner. Last week was an absolute disaster. I've got all these great cards that are still sitting here waiting to be auctioned. I'm like, let's make sure we have a decent night before we auction some of these off, which sucks for me. Like, when do I've had countless people message me about the Barry Sanders, about the Tom Brady, about the Taysom Hill, about the Lane Johnson. I can't bid on this. When, what's the deal with this? It's like, well, I can't tell them when I'm going to auction because I don't know, because there's too many issues right now. So we got through yesterday. It was a good show. Like, a lot of stuff was going for $1, which was okay. I sold 50 of these, which I'm like in for zero. I think literally zero. And most of them went for $1. A couple of them went for like $4 and $2, $3, but for the most part, $50 or a dollar, $1 each. So I went through 50 and I had one person like bidding on all of them, and then maybe a person here or there. It's like, well, I'm selling them. I don't care if they sell for $1. I'm getting rid of them. I don't have anything into it. And so a lot of stuff went for $1. It was, but hey, if you sell 200, and I went through 200 auctions in an hour 45. So even if you're selling it, and I think I ended up around, say, $500. I think it was around $500 total in yesterday's show. So for an hour and 45 minutes, and I was not listing decent stuff. I mean, I was listing just quarter box stuff, like, throw that in a quarter box. And sometime, there was like a Pete Rose and a Mike Schmidt, some other stuff that, actually the Mike Schmidt, I think only sold for $1, and somebody said I couldn't bid on that. I would have bid on that. So we were having some issues on the bidding side yesterday. So I was okay with it. I was okay. It was just kind of a pop-up. Here we go. It was not inventory that I had anything into. If stuff goes for $1, it goes for $1. So I was happy with the results. Last night, however, a different story. Collector's Corner Take 2, another fail. We got through more auctions than last week. We actually got some auctions launched. So I was talking to another eBay seller through text before the show, and there were a couple other channels at 5:30 that had like 6 people in the room, 8 people in the room, and I'm like, holy shit, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. So I checked into their show, and all of a sudden it was like they got boosted because they had at launch, they had almost 100 people in the room. I'm like, oh shit, all right, this is going to be good. And it looked like from the early going, like they were moving, they were selling some stuff. So now I'm excited. I went from like in a matter of 15 minutes, I went from, this is going to be a rough night to, this is going to be an awesome night. And it ended up being a rough night for me. So I launched at 7, and it was kind of a slow trickle. I was like, all right, where are the people? Like I was hoping I'd get a few more people in here. But eventually I got up to maybe 25 people, which is a good night for like a weeknight, especially a Wednesday. So it's Collector's Corner. I want to start with something good. All right. So I launch is like my word today. I started the auction with this Victor Wembanyama, a Wemby rookie retro series press proof in an 8.5 BGS 8.5. I'm like, man, we're going big. This was literally, I bought this on eBay through an eBay auction, a 7-day auction, and I literally had this in my possession for 6 hours, 8 hours before I put it up for auction. It was delivered yesterday. It sold for $2. This sold for $2 fucking dollars. Can you, like, $2 fucking dollars? Like, you can pick it apart. Oh, it's an 8.5. No, it's a Victor Wembanyama rookie. Even an 8.5, that should have went for at minimum $25. And I was thinking, this is probably going to hit $40 just based on his play. This is probably going to hit $40. $2 because nobody could bid on it. Just to let you know how ridiculous that is, because people may not be in love. This Kenny Satterfield. Who? Kenny Satterfield. PSA 9. Well, it's a 9. Actually, an 8. Isn't an 8.5 Beckett 8.5 the same as a 9? 2001 Upper Deck Flight Team Kenny Satterfield PSA 9. $2. These two cards, same comps. Kenny Satterfield and Victor Wembanyama. $2. So after that Victor Wembanyama start, I'm like, all right, there's some major issues. I'm like, okay, there's something wrong. People were saying we can't bid. I put a Walter Payton, like a league leaders Walter Payton. No bids. All right, that's weird. I run it a second time. Like, we're just gonna restart this. No bids. Like, this is bizarre. I run something else that goes for $1. I didn't run much. But it was such a weird night. Like, this Walter Payton ended up selling for like $2 or $3. Which is, yeah, probably about this ended up selling for, I think, $4. That was probably the high. That was probably the biggest. This LeBron James didn't sell at all until I reran it for like the third time. And I think it sold for $1. There was a Jordan card. This, I think, got bid up to like $8. So that was the highest. 8.4, and then everything else was going for like $2. It was a weird night. And at that point, it's like, what do you, if Walter Payton and a color LeBron James is not getting any bids in a Walter Payton, it was like a 78 tops league leaders card, is not getting any bids, it's probably around here somewhere. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And if I run decent stuff, because it's not the people in the room, it's the tech. And like, what do you do? Do you just sit here and like, if I run 100 different cards and hope to get $1 and not even get $1 and just keep running and spend an hour to make $20, like, fuck that. So I just gave up after, I think, 20 auctions, whatever. Might have been 20 auctions. So I sent another email to my rep, and this is what's going on. I do know the other channels were experiencing some issues as well. I don't think to the extent I was. Man, it was brutal. So I just gave up after a half hour and went upstairs, and that was it. So we'll try it again tonight, wrestling night. We'll try it again, wrestling night tonight, 7 Central. I do have autographs. I don't know if I'm going to run them. I don't know if I'm going to run the autographs tonight, but we'll run wrestling tonight, see how it goes. Hopefully the bidding is taken care of, but it's as I look at my numbers, I'm really, like, obviously I was really frustrated. But my wife is, venting to my wife, and she's like, well, it's not your fault. Like, it's not your issue. It's not anybody's issue. It's the tech. It's the technology. And so I'm looking at my numbers, my monthly numbers, obviously down. I think everybody's can report down or lower numbers than expected for October. But in all honesty, like, my numbers should be about equal to September. I just looked this up this morning, which actually gives me, and I know going in, like, October, it's kind of like, I don't have down months. Like, there's not, like, historically, my months are all over the board. Like last year, I think October was second or third highest month. And I think 2023, it was like one of the worst months. So it's kind of all over the board. But as I'm looking at this month's sales on eBay, my net sales are down 23% from September. And I'm like, as I look at that, I've had 2 events that I basically had to scrap that would have put me equal to September. So my numbers are actually on par with September. And so I'm still doing this well with the problems on the back end with eBay Live. So that gives me, like, okay, once these get figured out, hopefully it works out. Yes, I think this is exactly what it is. I think this is exactly 100% the issues going on, because they've been adding. Why do they not want to add just anybody on eBay Live? They don't have the bandwidth, to handle it. Like, I think this is the issue. It's Hopefully it gets fixed soon. Now, is it preventing me from making money? No. It's certainly preventing me from potentially making the most, because, you know, I'm struggling against what I was. And it's like, why? What, you know, what's the difference? Well, when you can't go to like prime time events that you've got, like, I'm prepared to run some good stuff. It's definitely something going on in the back end. So if you take what my projections were for last Wednesday, coupled with last night, and in just those two events, that would get me very close, if not matching where my numbers were for the entire month of September. In fact, not just through, well, I guess we're 30 days in now. So I guess, duh, it's October 30th. So yeah, if you take into account last night and last Wednesday, what I was projecting to make, that would have put me on par with September, right smack. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Would have put me over. My projections for last Wednesday and last night would have put me over September. So I would have been doing slightly better than September. But instead, I'm down 23%. Now let's take a look. Now this is apples and oranges. When I compare this month to last October, I'm up 202%. Now for the year, I am still tracking, even with the issues. This also gives me more hope. I am still 253% up over last year, despite the issues that eBay Live has been having over the last week and a half. So that's promising. That's really promising. So hopefully these issues can get ironed out, and we can move forward and see some growth. November should, if things get back to quote normal, November should be, I should crush it in November. I just don't know like, I really want to take advantage of like Black Friday, but that's tough for me. That's going to be really tough to take advantage. I've really got to figure out timing on that, because my mom will be coming up for Thanksgiving. I've got 2 card shows. The Madison card show, Black Saturday. Black Sunday is the Madison Pokemon show. So it's a full weekend. So I won't be doing any streaming on Saturday. I may sneak in like a daytime Black Friday before and just go to the hotel on Friday night. So it's you know, it is what it is. So I don't know. I may do like a Black Wednesday, like a Wednesday night Thanksgiving Eve sale. You know, I'll do a Cyber Monday, especially because I'll be at the card show. I'll be doing card shows and not streaming. I won't have much shipping. I'll do a Cyber Monday sale after Thanksgiving weekend. So just trying to get that sorted out ahead of time. I do have kind of my weekend. I forgot. It's my mother-in-law's birthday, Saturday, November 1st, which I should remember, because that was game 6 of the World Series that I skipped her birthday dinner. So I'm not skipping her birthday dinner for eBay Live. She wants to go to Sardine, which I haven't been to Sardine in probably a year or two. Maybe since her last birthday, maybe since last November 1st. So I like Sardine. It's good. And I don't get downtown very often. So like once a year now, it seems, and it's 15 minutes away. So no Saturday night show, but I will do a Saturday show. Tonight is wrestling night, 7 Central. Tomorrow, Halloween, I'll do a daytime show, probably afternoon. Saturday, I'll do an afternoon show. Sunday, I'll probably do a doubleheader. I'll do a Sunday afternoon show and a Sunday night show. So that's kind of the plans. We're going to New York next week. We fly out Friday. So I'll probably take, but it's a quick, like, I don't get to do any, my weekend's already planned out. So, no card shops, anything like that. We're flying in Friday. We'll get there probably Friday afternoon, early afternoon. We have dinner with my wife's cousin, the one who got married in May. Having dinner with them on Friday night. She lives in the city. And then Saturday, I think we have brunch. And then we have an afternoon meetup. And then the wedding is on Saturday evening, night. And then Sunday's getaway day. So it's going to be a quick New York City. I've never been to New York City, so it's I'm not gonna have much to see. I'll get to see a few restaurants. That's about it. So no shows next weekend. Let's go to the chat. I want to talk about eBay's updated ad policies that go into effect in January, and my thoughts on them. And I do want to offer the disclosure that I no longer promote my listings. I don't think I should probably go check it. I only have like 70 active, and I think I've got some auctions that were not used that I need to get cleaned up as well. So I'll do that this morning. Let's go say hello. Red lights in the house. Good morning. Peter is here. Good morning. D Pyers, what's going on? Good morning. Not many trick-or-treaters here. Last year we had about 12 to 15. I'll have to do a count this year. We definitely have quite a few. We definitely have quite a few. Probably over 100. I mean, we went through 2 giant Costco candy bags plus almost 3 boxes of those Score a Treat cards. So Pokemon, basketball, football. So a significant amount of trick-or-treaters. Cooter, good morning. The wife and I leaving for the evening and not doing Halloween. We typically give away $400 of full-size candy bars so the neighborhood kids won't be happy. Holy moly. When I was at Costco, I saw the full-size candy. I'm like, should we be the full-size candy bar house? And I'm like, nah. I'll let somebody else be the hero of the neighborhood. Peter says, I was wondering what happened to your stream. I was watching, and then it just ended. Didn't have the sound on. Oh, yeah. We were major issues. Probably better with the sound. It was just me crying and complaining and whining about all the issues. Scott, what's going on? When building an eBay store, I'm making store categories like football. Do I make subcategories for teams? You can. Honestly, I think the more you can drill down, the better. I think you can only do like 250 categories though. And I don't know if I don't know about the subcategory. I kind of ditched my category once I started listing on Car Dealer Pro. It kind of ruined my category, ruined all my categories. But although you can plug in the category, you just have to go into to your eBay backend. So you can, I don't know if people know this or not, but here's a little Car Dealer Pro tip. If you have categories, now this is difficult if you just take a pile of cards, and if you're doing by teams and you have all 30 teams in a 100 card batch or whatever it might be, then you got to go through and like that's going to completely defeat the purpose of using Car Dealer Pro for speed purposes. But say you have a list of Atlanta Braves cards, and you're like, I'm going to scan Atlanta Braves. I'm going to put them all in the Atlanta Braves category. If you go into your settings, and I can't remember off the top of my head where you go in to find this. If you go to the help menu, just type in store categories, and there's a way, and it spits out a number. So your Atlanta Braves category will have a number assigned. So it's store category ID 574321. And you just type that into the store category. I think it's on the spreadsheet. Let me see. I don't know if I have any templates up on my desktop. Here's a template for series 1. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So yeah, it's it would be column D, store category, and that's what it is. So you can do that. but I didn't use that because when I was using Car Dealer Pro and just doing speed listings, like it was gonna slow me down. But to your question, I think that would help. I wouldn't spend too much time on it. I do like categories when I am looking, although it's for me as a buyer, I'm trying to think of what I'm looking for. Because I do, if I go into a store and it's just a bunch of just kind of like my store was 60,000 listings with no rhyme or reason. Yeah, I had some categories, but I wasn't updating them. It was a pain in the ass. You go through and it's like, I just don't want to scroll through all these junk listings. It's honestly why I still have like $100 in collects credit to use, but I can never find anything. There's a lot of junk, overpriced. And I think I bought a couple cards, but it's so difficult to find stuff. And it also depends what is in your store. I think teams, like my store was set up by teams. And I think that's if you're doing raw singles and it's just pretty much, all right, here's some Kellogg's 3D Superstars, here's some Panini Select Tops, whatever. And it's just a bunch of base and inserts. Then I would say just do teams. If you have autographs, I think that would be a good category. If you have slabs, that would be a good separate category. Something that kind of separates, so people, like, if they don't want to look through a bunch of just junk base listing, like, oh, I don't want that garbage base, they can look through like, oh, well, he's got color, would be a good one. But yeah, if it's all about the base, I think categories, and I don't even necessarily think football would be I just do category. Like, I don't think I had football, baseball, basketball categories. I think I just use teams. Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Falcons, Chicago Bears, Chicago White Sox. So yeah, I think the team, if your store is similar to what my store was, I think teams is the way to go. And then I had some other, I may have deleted all my categories, but then I had like autographed baseballs, wrestling magazines. Good morning, Jody. Gem City's in the house. Good morning. Gem City says, Cooter, leave a QR code on the porch with a link to your favorite eBay store and offer a coupon. The kids will love that. There you go. Gem City says 8.5. It's a $2 card. Wow. Jordan's in the house. Good morning. Cooter says, good idea. So you heard it here first. Be ready for wrestling night. Cards will be had on the low. Yeah. If it's anything like last night, get on. If you can bid, you might get some deals. Fortunately, last night, some of the people that could bid, they got some great deals. Cooter says 1 million Cubs needs to reincorporate as a charity last night. Yeah, we were a charity last night. Max says bandwidth issue for eBay. Yeah, we talked. Yeah, I think so. There you go. I did not get shadow banned. Gem City, Max, I'm thinking the same. Max says the app on the phone is brutal to use in the live section. I don't even bother looking anymore. I mean, it's such a pain in the ass. Like the eBay Live platform is outdated, and hopefully, and I don't know what the future is for eBay Live, if they're going to continue on the website or if an app is being built. Gosh, I hope there's an app in development for eBay Live, because right now it's so clunky. Let's see. Gem City says, yeah, the app can certainly be better. Fanatics Live just made some decent updates to their app recently. Unicorn Cupcake says, skill game free bonus. Don't have bandwidth issues. Just saying. Max says, eBay as a parent company is absolutely atrocious at listening to customers. Seeing that is very apparent on the TCG player side. Absolute garbage. Gem City says, but wait, promoted listings will make life so much better on eBay because it's changing to a full-on pay-to-play for buy it now. We're going to talk about that. Peter says, I have you as a saved seller on eBay, yet when I go to your live auctions, I have to scroll down and down and down to find you. eBay might want to display favorited sellers first if possible. I don't know, because some people say I have you favorite. I get the updates. Some people don't. I get push notifications. Sometimes I get push notifications for people I don't even have saved as a seller. I'll get push notifications for like a one-off show that I just wanted to pop in to see what they were selling and all that. And I get push notifications. So I'm not sure if it's within your settings. So basically, when I go to my eBay Live app, so I have push notifications on eBay for everything. Now, I also do this full time. So I get why some people don't want push notifications. I don't want push notifications on a lot of things. eBay is certainly one thing that I do want push notifications. So I have, when you go in, I don't even know where my settings are. I found, oh yeah. So on your hub, on your My eBay on the app, go down to settings. It's all the way down. And then push notifications. So I've got order updates, shopping updates. The only thing I did discontinue updates on cart updates because at the time I was putting a lot of slabs in my cart. Back earlier this summer, I was buying slabs from PSA on eBay, and I would put them in my cart and let them sit until I bought, had enough in my cart or whatever that I wanted. So I was getting all these cart updates, and then I ended up leaving a bunch in my cart. And I'm like, all right, I don't want. So that's the only thing I have unclicked. I think that's the only thing on eBay that I have unclicked on push notifications. Recommendations all clicked, selling all clicked, general all clicked. So there you go. Where are we at? Max says, agreed, SGC guy. 608 says, good morning. Any shows around the state this weekend? Yes, there's quite a few, I think. I want to leave this up. Oak Creek is Saturday. Let's see. I think there's Premier's putting on a big show, I think, in Barrington, which is quite a ways down. All right. Card show calendar. November. All right. So this weekend, Oak Creek. There's the Toy Vault Pokemon Card and Collectible Show in Brookfield. But Oak Creek looks like the only one in Wisconsin. That's shocking. The only one show this weekend in Wisconsin. That's a rarity. Next weekend, you've got the Oconto Card and Coin Show in Oconto, Wisconsin. Also next Saturday is the Boys and Girls Clubs of Lacrosse Card Show. There's no card shows in Wisconsin this Sunday. Wow. Next Sunday, the 9th, the UP Card and Collectible Show in Niagara, Wisconsin. The Milton Card Show and the Green Bay Card Show. November 15th is the Pewaukee Card Show, the Wausau Collect and Connect Convention, and the Geneva Lakes Card Show. Sunday is the Wausau Collect and Collect Convention, the K-Town Holiday Toy and Collectible Show in Sturtevant, and Madison Comic-Con. Just a one-day Comic-Con. November 22nd, Central Wisconsin Card Show in Wisconsin Rapids, the Waukesha Card Show, and the Madison Comic and Toy Show, which is Saturday, Sunday. West Allis on Sunday, November 23rd. Wisconsin Dells on the 23rd. And then the 29th and 30th, guess what? Only shows in the state. Madison, Wisconsin, baby. November 29th and November 30th. Dan's in the house. What's going on? Low roller. You can cancel your premium store subscription. I have not canceled my store subscription. I also I like throwing money away. I still have my premium store subscription on eBay. I still have my Car Dealer Pro. I did downgrade my Car Dealer Pro to like $10 a month because I probably will. At some point, I will use it. Probably not this month. Probably not next month. But at some point, I figure I'll use it again. Maybe I won't. Kind of like that cherry rhubarb pie that's still in my freezer 2 years later. I don't think I can eat it now. Let's see. Max says 608. I will be set up at a TCG shop in Portage with another vendor. Nice change of pace and zero competition. Allows for my customers to get a better look without being bombarded. Alan says Mischief Night where I grew up. Rich says good morning. Hope all is well with you and yours. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Red Light says your box will be there Monday. Excellent. Low Roller says eBay should buy Whatnot. Dan says, did Bo buy a 3D printed thing from you? Max says, eBay has always been a pay-to-play, LOL. I don't understand what's being affected with the changes they are making with promoted listings. So they're actually making some significant changes. However, I'm going to share my thoughts on it. Almost every online platform has pay-to-play elements, undercutting being a big one. I agree. Deep Hire says, my eBay live notifications are always at least 30 minutes after your stream begins. That's not cool. Rich says, we have, as far as I know, things can always change. 0 shows of any sort this weekend in DFW. That's wild. I wonder why this weekend is such a slow show weekend. Sports or TCG? Tiger727 says, we will be at both the Oconto and Niagara show. The Niagara show is actually in Kingsford, Michigan, venue 906, just to clarify that. Very nice. Yes, I still pay for StreamYard, but I actually use it now. Back in the day, I paid for StreamYard and didn't use it. Now I use it every day, almost every day. So eBay's changes. So here's exactly what it is. eBay is changing their promoted ad listings effective in January. So this is the letter that eBay sent out. It's really foggy outside. Ooh, it's spooky season. Or somebody's burning leaves. Let's see. Exclusive ad placement with priority campaigns. Campaigns using a priority strategy will get exclusive access to the first ad slot position at the top of eBay search results. This means your listings will get more visibility to help you drive greater sales velocity. If you're already using priority campaigns, you don't need to do anything. You'll automatically benefit from the increased visibility and continue to only pay for clicks on your ads. You'll also still have access to advanced tools like smart targeting and suggested campaigns. Now, here's where the big change is. Updated attribution for general campaigns. Starting January 13th, items listed and promoted with a general strategy, which is what probably most people use, will use the following attribution definition when reporting sales and charging ad fees. All right, here's what's changing. An attributed sale will be when any buyer purchases the promoted item within 30 days of any click on the ad. Any click on the ad. So say Max has a Pokemon card, Charizard, and I see it through a promoted listing, and I click on the ad. Next week, Cody 608, Max tells Cody, "Hey, I've got a Charizard. It's been up on my eBay for a week. Come and buy it." And Cody goes and buys it. Max gets charged the fee, even if it wasn't clicked on by Cody. It was clicked by somebody. So that's the big change. So basically, you're probably, which means probably every listing is going to be a promoted listing, whether the person clicked on it or not. But somebody has clicked on it. So that's the big change. So again, an attributed sale will be when any buyer purchases the promoted item within 30 days of any click on the ad. Doesn't necessarily mean the buyer clicks on the ad. Anybody could click on the ad. That buyer could be direct. That buyer could be on your website, on your personal website, with a link to your eBay store and says, oh, I want that Charizard. And he buys the Charizard with no clicks at all. But since somebody clicked on that ad within the last 30 days, it's now a promoted listing. The item must be promoted at the time of click and the time of sale. The seller will be charged the ad rate at the time of sale. You'll still only pay when your item sells. As always, we recommend monitoring your performance and adjusting your strategy accordingly. And I'm glad eBay put that in the last sentence, because that's important. I'm curious, people that promote, do they even look to see what their spend is on? I often wonder this, like, do you even know, like, especially if you're doing dynamic, do you even know, like, because I monitored pretty closely my ad spend, and I had dynamic up to, on usually it was up to like 10%. So it could be 3%, it could be 6%, it could be 8%, it could be 10%. Guess what? More times than not, it was, you guessed it, the highest rate, 10%, my max. So if you are promoting your listings, if you're complaining about pay to play, just pay attention. Just look at what you're spending your money on, which is always important. I'm realizing that a lot of people don't know what they're spending their money on. Countless instances of people just clicking the buy button and then sending a message. I bought a sponsored table at the Madison Card Show. No, you didn't buy a sponsored. There's no such thing as a sponsored table. You bought a sponsorship. Did you read any of the before you bought? So I've noticed that. I still, regardless of the changes, I still think it's important. And people complain about. I've said this all along. eBay fees are a great deal. Like, go somewhere else and sell and tell me the difference. You may have luck on, and that's not like, it doesn't mean that it's the eBay's the end all be all. You can have success on other platforms without question. But for the most part, especially if you're buying, like what I did for a long time, just buy it now. eBay by far was going to be the bread and butter platform. If I was still doing buy it now, and I do have buy it now, but not very much. And I pretty much just ended all my ad campaigns because I don't care about the buy it now listings. It's kind of like junk anyway. Most of my inventory is some shitty signed Cubs baseballs and wrestling magazines. That's basically the majority of my buy it now inventory. But like Max mentioned earlier, pretty much anything is pay to play. If you want to be seen, you've got to pay for it. And it's important. If you really want to take selling seriously, and I get, not everybody is doing this full time. Not everybody, even if it's a side hustle, well, I don't care. I'm just making extra money. I don't care. But if you have aspirations of doing this full time, or if you are full time, it's very important pay to play. There's a reason why people at card shows want premium table spots. They want to be close to the entrance. They want to be where the people are, whether it's for selling or it's more importantly, it's for buying and getting those deals. And guess what? That's why those tables are more expensive. And there's demand for those tables. Just like the ads, the more you pay, the more eyeballs. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to sell. If you're selling 91 Fleer Commons for $5, you're not necessarily going to make any sales. But if you've got 91 Fleer for 99 cents, you might get those sales. You have Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. There's a lot of those cards on eBay. And the more eyeballs you get, the more chances of selling that card. So I think it is important, but it's also equally important to know what you're doing, know what you're getting, and paying attention if you do opt in to paid ads. Look to see what you're spending on. And that's important. That's important. Let's go to the chat. But I think pay to play and eBay ads, I think they're a necessity. And if the people that complain about, well, eBay and all this, go to another platform. And guess what? You go to another platform, if there's not a pay to play already instituted with ads, there will be. And guess what? The same is going to happen. Eventually you're going to have to pay to play. And that's where the market is. Where we at? Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. Max says, oh, that's just extortion then, LOL. Gem City says, correct. It's just an increased fee instead of adding it to the final value fee. I agree. And just work it into the price of your card. You know, if your floor on a card is $1.50, just raise it to $1.75. Just the same way. It's got to be a built-in fee, just like it would be when stamps go up, because stamps are going to go up again. And just build that price in and build it in for, stamps are going to go up every year. Every year there's going to be a 2 to 5 cent increase on stamps. And so come next July, there's going to be another stamp increase. Book it and be prepared. Max says, if the buyer clicks on it and buys within the month, I think they should get charged. And that's how it used to work. And I think that's how Amazon works. Within 30 days of the person that clicks on it, if they buy it, they get charged. And that's what I thought when I first read it. I'm like, oh, this is how it's always been. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I misread it. If any person clicks on it, it becomes a promoted ad. Like, oh, well, that sucks. But if person A clicks on the ad and person B buys, it's wild to think they would even think about instituting that. So they are just going to run mass ads for everybody to get their ads out there. Yeah. So it's basically just like, do it or don't. And if you don't, you're probably going to get buried. And even if you do, you're probably going to get buried with more expense. Vintage Sports Pursuit. Good morning. I always promote 5 to 7% and just assume I am paying that when the item sells anyways, when the item sells. And that's a lot of what I just assume, like when I did the dynamic cap, I'm like, this is 10%. Like I'm probably just, I assume it's going to be a promoted ad. And it's probably going to be 10%. And then I started looking into it further. And yes, I was spending 5% on some, 8% on some, but a large majority was 10%, was up to the cap. And, if you have it built in where, like we don't have to go and monitor our eBay fees. We know what the eBay fees are, whether you're on the premium store plan and get that slight discount, or if you don't have any store plans at all and you're paying a little bit more, it's a fixed expense on every sale. You know what it is. So in that regard, if you're promoting at 5 to 7% and you're building that in, yeah, I guess there's no real reason to look into it, because you're building it into the eBay fee. You're spending upwards of 20% in fees, on each sale. Tracy says, good morning. Nice brisk morning in South Carolina. Red Light says, kind of like the e-bike. That's right. Just sitting collecting dust. Dairyland Picker says, eBay's quarterly earnings show they don't need to nickel and dime. Yeah. So, Denny, what's going on? So yes, the earnings call was yesterday, and I think it was 10%. They beat expectations by 10%, I think. So they're eBay's doing okay. eBay is doing okay. What was the eBay? Let's see. Oh, here's something from Reuters. eBay's holiday quarter profit forecast disappoints. Shares fall nearly 9%. E-commerce from eBay forecast profit for the crucial holiday quarter below Wall Street estimates amid ongoing macroeconomic uncertainty, sending its shares down 8.5% after the bell. We don't really care about that. Let's see. eBay's third quarter revenue came at $2.82 billion, while adjusted profit was $1.36 per share, both beating Wall Street estimates of $2.73 billion and $1.33 per share, respectively. eBay saw a deceleration in year-over-year volume growth starting in September in key markets importing into the U.S. after the removal of the de minimis exemption. The U.S. in late August ended de minimis tariff exemptions for parcel imports and began collecting normal duty rates on all package shipments valued under $800, regardless of the country or origin or mode of transportation, a change that was expected to impact online marketplaces such as eBay. Let's see. As commodity prices for precious metals have appreciated in recent months, we've observed a notification. What the hell just happened? My screen went white. Uh-oh. That was weird. What is going on? Wow. That was weird. Is this the beginning of the purge? All right. Let's keep going. We'll just there you go. You can Google it. Google the eBay earnings call. Red Light says no. He will show it off to you all next week when he gets it. All right. By the way, I don't even know what it is, so I'm excited. Low Roller says stamp isn't going up this December. No, it's not. It went up in July. It'll go up again next July. Jordan says hopefully that means the more clicks on your item, the more eyes on your item. Like it gets a boost. Hopefully. Johnny M says, as a shareholder, I'm okay with it. As a seller, I chose not to play. I maybe promote 5% of my listings at 2%, but I'm ending those also since this is not how I make a living. It does not really affect me. And that's absolutely like, if this isn't a business or if you don't care, then it doesn't you don't have to but if you are a business, if you are doing full-time or if you want to grow, it's absolutely a necessity. Unfortunately, that's just the day and age we're in. It is a necessity. Max says, just assume you're getting charged the promotion fee at this point. 100%. Max says, Johnny, that thinking is very, very backwards. You need the seller to be engaged, not walk away. Should be a win-win. Juicing the balance sheet isn't always best for a company. Nobody thinks long-term anymore. Johnny M says, it's just extra spending money for me. Don't really care if I have $2,000 or $3,000 less at the end of the year to spend on fun. I agree with that. Dan says, so if a seller is ransoming a Burley card, I can click on ads that appear next to their auctions and eBay will stick it to them. Well, if the Burley card ransoming, if the ransomed Burley card is an ad and you click on it, then when it sells, they'll get charged. But only if it sells. If they're ransoming it and you're the only person that wants it and it never sells, they'll never get charged. Because you only pay on ads when they sell. Jordan says it's happening. Vintage Sports Pursuit says down goes Bo. I don't know what my screen, I'm in the middle of reading. All of a sudden my screen went white. My browser just completely shut down. So bizarre. Max says, must be nice. Do you get a check from most of us every month then, Johnny? If so, you're welcome. Oh, didn't pay his power bill. We're back, baby. Dairyland says, should have promoted your live at 3%. eBay is listing. I know, right? Peter says, I think that unhappy buyer who was trolling you is coming after you. Yeah. Oh, there was I had a troll. I don't think I brought this up. So I had what buyer was it? I've had my run of weirdos lately. So I had a bad box of bubble mailers from Supply Hut. So by the way, if you buy bubble mailers from Supply Hut, watch out. I had a bad box. Hopefully it's the only box. But the sides. Let me see if I can go find one. So basically what happened is I buy these bubble mailers from Supply Hut. So what's happening, and I've had like 3 instances of this happening. One of these sides has split. So basically what's happening, this was a good one. Basically it's not, however, this is coming apart and it's just opening and it's just kind of like going like this in transit. Obviously when that happens, the contents fall out. It's delivered like this. So I had somebody I've had 3 or 4 instances of this happening within the last couple of weeks. So hopefully it's isolated to this one box. And, I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry, send a refund. And this one person just went off the deep end. He threatened to, which also this is what I don't like about eBay, is change they made recently is their feedback. And you could easily remove feedback. This guy I think my negative is still up, but I have somebody within eBay that I can get it. If I spend 2 minutes, I can get it taken down. But there were 2 instances that this should have been automatically removed when you go through the removal feedback. He threatened me through eBay Mess. He threatened to fly to Wisconsin to meet up, which is a threat. And this is all like within like he left me negative feedback. He sent me the threatening message all in like before I even saw them. And then he posted a picture of my address on the feedback. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, okay, so I get it. I submit for removal. It's denied. And I'm like, and I put like, I don't even know what I put, but it's like, so eBay's not taking any feedback down. They're just like, the system just says, fuck you. So, so I email my rep and I'm like, hey, eBay denied I went through the process. eBay denied it. He's got my addresses on there's a photo of my address on the feedback there. He threatened to fly to Wisconsin. Like, can you just like, you can leave the feedback up. Just take the address down. Like, that's all. Like, I don't care. I don't care about the negative. Just leave the negative, take the photos down. So now like that's beyond his scope. So I've got a new person that I think there's like a hub that I have to go through. But anyway, so yeah, and then he came into and then I blocked him. I sent the refund and blocked him. And then he jumped in my chat. I don't know what day it was. Was that a daytime stream? It might've been a daytime stream. Maybe it was at night. I don't know. It was this week's at some point. And he jumped in and called me a scammer and all that bullshit. It's like your $40 cards, like, come on. Do you think I'm going to scam anybody and ruin what I've built, and especially over $40? Like, get the fuck out of here. So I got to get that. That's something I need to take care of today. Gem City says, I thought they just Tony Soprano'd Bo. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I factored in yes, as I treat it as a business. Dan says, only if the card is an ad. Yes. Tell people just delete your cookies and cash so you wouldn't be charged a promotion fee. Johnny M says, earned everything I have the hard way, Max. You're welcome then. Tom. Good morning, Tom. East Coast Tom in the house. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Next eBay Live is going to be tonight. Am I still here? Hopefully I'm still here. eBay Live tonight, 7 p.m. Central. Wrestling night. So it's wrestling cards only. I think most of the audience here doesn't care about wrestling, but wrestling night tonight, 7 o'clock Central. Hopefully the back end issues we experienced yesterday and last night and last week are through, and we can get a good show going tonight. So eBay Live tonight, wrestling night, 7 p.m. Central. Tomorrow we'll be live again. I'll probably be a daytime stream, probably tomorrow afternoon. I'll go again on Saturday, and then we'll do a doubleheader on Sunday. Next week, I think I'm going to get a little boost, an eBay boost on Wednesday for Collector's Corner. So I anticipate Wednesday night finally launching Collector's Corner the right way. And I've got some good stuff coming for next Wednesday for Collector's Corner. I've got the Barry Sanders autograph. I've got a Mark McGwire. This is the 70th home run ticket stub from 98. I've got the Gold Prism Taysom Hill out of 10. I've got a Calvin Johnson. I think this was a dealer exclusive print run of 10 on a rookie card. A Peyton Manning rookie PSA 9. I got a Lane Johnson auto. This is numbered out of 35 and a Gem Mint 10. I got a Brady rookie and an 8. So that's all going to run next Wednesday. I've got other stuff. I've got a bunch of slabs. I picked up a bunch of Wemby slabs. Here's a Gem Mint 10 rookie Wemby. I'll probably run some of my vintage basketball. The following Wednesday is going to be my 70-71 Topps Tall Boy set break. So that's going to be a week from next Wednesday. So in about 2 weeks, Wednesday night, November 12th, I'm going to break the complete 175 card set of 70-71 Tall Boys. So that'll be a fun night as well. Jordan says, what's Collector's Corner? So Collector's Corner is supposed to be a new night from eBay. So eBay Live has done Sunday singles, was basically the first thing they started for in sports cards. And it's basically a night dedicated to a certain Sunday night singles, was singles. They've done, the most recent was Gem Night, was Thursday nights, and I think they still do Gem Night. I don't think it's promoted as much as it used to be. So Gem Night was basically cards above $100. I opted out of that because I don't deal in cards over 100 for the most part. You know, there's a couple of these that, you know, I've had some sales over 100, but for the most part, I don't deal in $100 plus cards. It's certainly not, I mean, I do, but not to the extent of having an entire show dedicated to $100 plus cards. And so Collector's Corner is their new theme. It's going to be a Wednesday. It's supposed to be a Wednesday night thing. They have theme. It was supposed to start last Wednesday. Obviously, we had all the eBay wide outages last Wednesday. So it was supposed to start last Wednesday. Didn't. I was supposed to do one last night. Didn't really get off due to more glitches. So hopefully things are good next Wednesday. So it's basically just a themed show. If you go to the eBay Live homepage, there's different themes. They do for different categories also. So they have so basically when you go to eBay Live's page, there's the carousels. They have the Live Now, which I remember when I started on eBay Live, there was one eBay Live channel that was live at 9 a.m. It was like crystals. So right now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Holy shit. 22, 23. There's 24. There's 24 live streams right now across all categories. 3-4 months ago, there was one. It was crystals. So then they got the new seller spotlight. I've graduated out of that one. long time ago. Trading card games, which is obviously Pokemon for the most part. Fashion. Sports singles, rip and ships. That's the category I'm in. Coins and bullion. Breaks. Comics. Toys and hobbies. Collectibles. Jewelry and games. Health and beauty. Electronics. Sporting goods. They got a lot more categories now. Japan's top luxury. Weekend kicks. So weekend kicks is a special category where it's Saturdays and Sundays shoe sales. Sudden victory breaks. I don't know what that is. Dollar start sudden death auctions on top product. Interesting. Gem Midnight talked about, so that's still a thing. Editor approved finds by Vogue Shopping. Next up. Past events. There you go. So there you go. Where are we at? Crystal's almost as dumb as cardboard, right? All right. So that's what I had for today. Have a great day. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. See you then.